What's up everyone, 7G3D here, and I want to welcome you to my 300 subscribers special. Thank you very much for all my subscribers and everyone who watches my content. And as a thank you, I'm giving away a free add-on that I made to make working with OpenGL a lot smoother and more streamlined. I've been using this add-on in my workflow for a couple months now, and it's made a world of difference. Basically what the add-on is I took all the most used buttons that I use from all the different panels and I put them into one spot in the 3D viewport. So you don't have to flick through physics tabs or go down to your timeline or, mess with other tool panels in the properties region of the 3D view. And another cool little thing I added is an optimize button. It says optimize blender. So what it does is it optimizes Blender for OpenGL rendering by turning off every unneeded setting that sucks resources for no reason. Even if you're in cycles, you just click the button and it'll set you right up for OpenGL rendering. I got sick of having to switch between all these windows when I'm working with cycles and I want to go back into OpenGL, so I just made a button for it. I'll go into more detail on that in a minute. So yeah, it's been a minute since I posted. I've just been behind the scenes working, doing some game dev with a few other people, doing freelance, and I've been working on a playlist of tutorials. I plan on covering the basics all the way from what is OpenGL rendering all the way to motorcycle rigs and EV rendering in my next couple videos. Also, I just released a new Guitar Wave Synthwave album called Cotton Candy. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, all the major platforms. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the links in the description. So with all that out the way, let's jump into a little tutorial on this add-on. Alright, so let's look at this tool. Go into your 3D viewport and you'll see OpenGL Quick Tools. We have my most used settings right here: lock camera to view, only render, world background, depth of field, matte cap, ambient occlusion, the alpha mode for the sky. You can render from this panel as well, so just click that button and get a render. You can mess with the anti-aliasing, anisotropic filtering, which is usually in the user preferences, so this comes in really handy. Texture limiter and little physics work panel, so you can play the timeline forward or backwards. Instead of having to minimize the window, go down here, press this button, you could do it all from right here. Alright, next up, we'll go into this Optimize Blender button. Now this turns off all unnecessary settings and optimizes Blender for OpenGL rendering. We have a bunch of stuff ticked here. It's all chaotic. Render layers are all crazy. World settings. All these settings suck resources and slow Blender down, so if you're using OpenGL, you probably have a weak computer to begin with, so want the best we can get. I go down here, click this button, and it's going to set it all up. Even if I'm in cycles, I'll just switch to cycles. Click Optimize. What it did is it turned everything off that we don't need and gave us a nice clean slate to start from. None of this stuff is used for OpenGL, and it does take resources. It resets all this stuff: color management, gravity, all the world settings. That really helps gain a bunch of extra performance out of OpenGL. Alright, let's give it a little test. Go to only render, lock camera, which is really handy because you always have to go back up the view, click lock camera. It's a pain, but this makes it a ton easier. We don't have to go into the display tab anymore. For ambient occlusion, it's just a tick. I left the other settings out of it. This is like you have to preset it up in the display panel, or the shading panel, excuse me. Just set it up. Go here. You can do your depth of field, back face culling. Makes it really easy to do stuff, so you don't have to flip through the windows and go to the render panel, click anti-aliasing, etc. You just do it all from here and render it. So that's OpenGL Quick Tools. I hope you find it useful. If you have any ideas to make it better, or you want to see a new feature in it, I'll try to make that happen. So this is just version 1. And thank you to everyone who subscribed and watched my content. Peace to the next one.